everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Alex from Alex's Innovations, and I thought today I would do a knot with me with a question and answer. You guys asked me a bunch of questions in like July because I put a question box on my story and then I just never filmed a Q&A, and so someone today on my YouTube live suggested that I do a knot with me while filming a Q&A, so I thought I'd do that. But before I start, right now I'm making a rainbow arrowhead, and I actually have a tutorial for it on my channel, so I recommend you check that out if you want to learn how to make it. I also have a tutorial for this segmented knot. It's part of my comprehensive guide to starting and ending your bracelet, and that's also in the description. But if you want to watch those videos, I highly recommend it if you want to make something like this. But the pattern's also in Bracelet Book. I will link it down below. So anyway, let's get into some questions. One of the questions is, how do you stay motivated to work on bracelets when you need to read or you have school? In quarantine time, since, you know, presumably it's quarantine, and I hope that in a week or two we haven't completely exited quarantine, and I say I hope because, you know, like, I don't think we can do that in a week, and so if we are exited, it means that we didn't do it under the guidance of, like, professionals. But presumably at the time that you're watching this, we're still in quarantine, and I'm in college, and so we're doing Zoom classes, because I'm actually, like, in my house still. I'm not on my college campus. So I like to make bracelets sometimes during lectures. This is usually during lectures that I either know I'm not going to understand, or if I already took notes on the textbook beforehand or on the reading or whatever was assigned. So I have a pretty good understanding of it. But I always prioritize my academics first, so I tell myself if it's a choice between, you know, saying, you know, I don't need to know this, or if it's like, I probably should know this, then I just tell myself it's okay to stop nodding for a few minutes just so I can jot some things down, maybe ask some questions in the Zoom chat box just to get some feedback from my professor. But also, I don't really have that much free time, so I don't really knot during my free time unless it's at the very end of the night. I sometimes will purposefully stay up late just to give myself time to watch like an entire episode of Criminal Minds, because I just sort of like having that sort of free time, I guess. Another one is, how did you choose your major or minor? I'm majoring in chemical and biomolecular engineering, and I'm minoring in entrepreneurship and management. I initially wanted to do biomedical engineering, which is very similar to chemical and biomolecular engineering, but biomedical engineering is much more medicine and healthcare based. I decided I didn't really want to go into that as much as I wanted to go into the chemistry and the biology and the physics of like problem solving, so I would do something ideally like maybe genetics. Recently 2 women won the Nobel Prize in chemistry for CRISPR work, which is like gene editing, like genetic modification. And although I don't know if that's exactly what I want to do, I do know I want to do something like that, like maybe pharmaceuticals, so that's sort of like the drug industry or something similar to that. And for my minor, entrepreneurship and management, you know, I've had a taste of entrepreneurship over the past few years and I kind of like it. And I'm not sure if it's going to be similar in like the real world per se, but you know, I'm doing my best and I think it would be really interesting. And if I don't actually do it, like have a job in it, because most people don't have jobs in their minors, it's still a really useful thing to have. So that's how I chose my major and minor. Another question is, how many bracelets are you wearing? And at the moment I'm wearing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'll explain each of these bracelets. This one I got actually, right now I'm going to Johns Hopkins, and so I actually took a summer course at Johns Hopkins 2 years ago. This is when we went to an amusement park for a day, and we all got these from like, you know, like the really overpriced tickets stations that they all have, but we all got some of those. This one I found in my closet, and I honestly don't know why. Similar to being in the closet, this one is a lesbian bracelet, and I wore it before I was formally like out as a lesbian, because it made me feel empowered, you know, sort of like a bat signal. Like if someone who saw it, like this is pretty clear, like it's a version of the lesbian flag, and this is kind of clear. I probably should have emphasized more on the orange because I used the pink flag instead of the orange flag because I didn't actually know that there was an orange flag at the time. I just googled lesbian flag and then chose whichever came up because I was an unlearned lesbian, but I thought that that was kind of cool. This next one was a failed attempt at an anklet. I think it was an anklet and then it fell off and it wasn't long enough to be tied again as an anklet. And as you can see, it's barely holding on here. This one I got on a family vacation. It's not a friendship bracelet, but I still like it. This one was another failed attempt at an anklet. It was going to be too long for me to make the pattern symmetrical, so I sort of just stopped it and wore it as is. This one is another failed attempt at an anklet. As you can see, it's way too short. This one is rainbow. Wow, we started this video off. This is like a live stream, but I can edit it, so if you're seeing this, it means I purposefully chose to include this, so just keep this in mind during this whole video, I guess. You're welcome! And this one is a bracelet that I made for my friend, very best friend, when I was in high school, and she got me through a lot of tough things with mental health because she was a little bit older than me, and she had also gone through some similar stuff that I had been going through, and so she knew how to help me. And I wear it as sort of like a good luck charm because I know she's always there to support me and to love me. How old are you? I am 18. 18 big ones. What are some books you like? I really like science fiction books. I really like Brave New World. 1984 is really cool. Lord of the Flies, Slaughterhouse-5, those are some really good ones. Handmaid's Tale is very, very, very good. Alright, the next one is, what is your favorite product to make for your Etsy shop? I really like making the thin Aztec bracelets because they go pretty quickly for me, about an hour to an hour and a half if I can like zoom, and so it's pretty nice. I say zoom and going quickly, not like the video streaming platform, which I guess I can't say gotta go fast, because I guess that might not have the same connotation. I'm not sure. Someone asked, do you ever keep bracelets that you make? Like, do you always list them on your Etsy? And I actually list most of the bracelets that I make on my Etsy. I actually made one of Streaky, and I've gotten to the point where I don't really like have an emotional attachment to my bracelets anymore. Someone asked, is Streaky your cat or is he the family cat? Streaky's the family cat. We got him when I was 12. My sister was 10, probably, or she might have been, no, she was 10. And he's been in our family ever since. He goes around to everyone equally. I think he likes my dad the best because he feeds him, and so therefore by association, Ivan Pavlov would be proud of me. But I'd like to think he likes me because sometimes when we're watching movies on the couch, he'll like come up to my lap and he'll sit on it, and it's very, very adorable. Someone asked, what's your favorite time of the day and why? Well, when I was staying up during quarantine during like excessively late hours, I think 4 a.m. was my favorite time of the day because no one else was up and I knew I could just make bracelets late into the night and no one would come into my room saying like, stop making bracelets and do stuff with your life. To be fair, I also was like getting up at 6 p.m. because of my terrible sleep schedule, so that wasn't a schedule that I would recommend to everyone, I guess. What's your zodiac sign? I'm a Virgo. I don't really know what that says about me. Judge with that as you will. I am, however, a Ravenclaw, which I think judges more than the zodiac. Although during my live stream today, someone said, or a lot of people said I was a Ravenpuff, and I don't really know what that means, because I always saw Hufflepuffs as like extroverted and like soft and like genuinely good people. And like the amount of times that I've wanted to sleep in like makes me feel like I'm not a good Hufflepuff, because I feel like Hufflepuffs would be like, seize the day, and they're like all happy and stuff, and sometimes I just don't have that kind of vigor necessary. Favorite color combo for bracelets? I like rainbows, and I'm a little bit biased, but you know, like I risked my case. Look at that. Look, she's beautiful. She has the colors of the gaze. Plus, it's just a very aesthetically pleasing color combo. Plus, it's the combo of nature. I mean, this is what arises in rainbows, like in the sky. It's the natural diffraction of light. I mean, it's physics. It's wonderful. Someone said, how do you take out so much time for making all of these beautiful things? I love them. First of all, thank you. And second of all, I probably take up more time than I do. And third of all, you asked this in July, in which case I was taking much, much more time than I should have. Although, to be fair, I didn't really have anything else. One of my friends at my college learned the entire Calculus 3 course before the course even started. Although, to be fair, he's struggling just as much as the rest of us, because we're all struggling, me included. It's a really hard class. Although I've heard that Calculus 3 is easier than Calculus 2 at other colleges, so if anyone in the comments has taken Calculus 3 and Calculus 2, please let me know how it was, because to be fair, I chose like a really hard college, and the math classes at my college are said to be very hard, so that gives me a little bit of satisfaction that at least I have not dropped the class yet, which is a little bit nice. Someone asked, what is your favorite ice cream flavor? I like cookies and cream a lot because it's like chocolate, but not really, because chocolate ice cream isn't good, but variants of chocolate ice cream are very good indeed, and so I'd say cookies and cream. Bonus points if they're like chunks of Oreos. Like, I like the cookies and cream when it's like the McDonald's McFlurry stuff with like Oreos on top. That's really good, like very yummy. Someone asked, have you ever been through a slump? If yes, how did you overcome that? I don't know if you mean a slump like a bracelet making slump or a slump like a depressive episode, but I'll try and answer both. To get through a bracelet slump, I usually recommend giving into what your body and mind wants. So if your body says no more bracelets, then don't make any more bracelets. I mean, it won't be fun if you force yourself to make bracelets. If it's a monetary issue, like you need the money, I'd recommend getting a job because making bracelets is much less cost efficient than working a salary or a wage paying job. I don't know how old you are and if that's possible for you. In terms of getting through a slump, like mental health wise, like if getting through a depressive episode, that one's a little harder. I'd recommend also waiting it out. Sometimes people suggest talking to someone about it. Other people suggest sort of, just taking time for yourself. I think both of those are valid. I'd recommend maybe reaching out to a friend if you have any. I'd also recommend sometimes like putting on sad music helps. Like it sounds counterintuitive because you don't want to put on sad music to make yourself like more sad. But just sort of acknowledging your feelings and letting yourself know it's okay if you need to cry or something like that, and then sort of going to sleep. And I'm laughing because it's like, did you turn it off and on again? Like that's like the human form. But I think those things, also just drinking lots of water, trying to be kind to yourself, be kind to your body, tell yourself it's okay if you need to go to sleep or if you need a nap today when you usually don't need one. I think just loving yourself and knowing what you need and listening to yourself and what you need is the best bet. Where are you going to college and what are you studying? As I mentioned before, I think I'm going to Johns Hopkins. It's located in Maryland, so the time zone is the same, which is really, really nice. And I feel so sorry for all the international kids. In my business class, it meets at 3 p.m. Eastern time, which is the time zone I live in. And I think there's one girl in China, and I think it's either 3 a.m. or like 4 a.m. there, something like that. It's ridiculous, and I feel so sorry for her because she looks so tired. I mean, sometimes in class she puts in like extra like contact fluid, or what's it called? It's not brake fluid. Like I feel weird calling it fluid. Is it like contact drops? Eye drops maybe. So anyway, she puts in some of those and she rubs her eyes and she looks so tired and I just want to give her a hug. Someone asked, what other crafty things do you do other than making bracelets? I really like crocheting. I've made some crochet beads, which are for sale on my Etsy. I also scrapbook a little tiny bit, if you call putting washi tape in my planner scrapbooking, if that's possible, because I do that and it's a lot of fun. I mostly do it just to like de-stress, and also because I have like an insane amount of washi tape and I just want to make something nice out of it, and it's nice to just have that plus all of my classes in one go, so it makes me feel productive. But that's crafty, I guess. Someone else asked, do you use a planner or schedule? I actually did not see this, so see above. Someone asked, does it feel weird making bracelets at school? Kind of. I mean, right now I'm a freshman in college, and so when I was a sophomore in high school, that's sort of the peak of my like mental health or lack of mental health. I mean, I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety then, and I started like slowly making bracelets in school, and my teachers didn't really notice, or they probably noticed, who am I kidding, but they didn't ask me about it, which was nice, although my chemistry teacher heard me repeatedly say some concerning stuff, and he asked me after class what was wrong, and so that's how my chemistry teacher was my first therapist. But anyway, I think in 10th grade they didn't really care that much because they knew I was going through some stuff, and they were really kind about it. In 11th grade, I was nodding, I think in one class, and I'd only nod during movies or like when the lights were off. And then like one teacher was like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I like to make friendship bracelets. Then I like gave her my business card and then like never made bracelets again for the whole year. So yeah, I kind of got more concerned about it, like the better my mental health got, because I knew I could use for an excuse. I have call my therapist if you have a problem with it or something. She'll talk to you about that. So anyway, that's some of your questions. I have more questions that I'm going to get to in the next video, but unfortunately it is 11:27 on a Saturday night, and I do intend to watch Saturday Night Live today because it's going to be a very good episode. It is like 3 days after the vice presidential debate, and I really need to see what they're going to do about the fly in Mike Pence's head. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe like and or comment and or subscribe if you want to, because that would be super cool. Also check out my Instagram, because this is how I did the question box, and so you can literally help me make my videos. And also check out my Etsy, because this bracelet will be available for my Etsy, although I don't know if it will still be available by the time of this video. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this video, and thank you. Bye.